The white dress still smelled like roses. We had just returned from church. The choir had barely stopped singing. The congratulatory texts were still flooding in. But inside that quiet bedroom, everything changed. "Take off your clothes," my husband said. At first, I laughed. I thought he was teasing. Newlywed playfulness, maybe. But he wasn't smiling. "Undress. Now." I hesitated. Then he stepped forward and gently unzipped my wedding dress. His hands felt colder than usual. I stood there, unsure. "Lie down." I obeyed. Slowly. Nervously. Then, he pulled out a needle and thread from his pocket. What are you doing?" I stammered. "I noticed you talked too much while we were dating," he said calmly, pulling my face close. So I made a vow. Tonight, that mouth will finally learn how to shut up. Before I could scream, his palm landed hard across my cheek. I saw stars. He grabbed my chin with one hand, and with the other he began sewing. Yes, sewing my lips. Pain ripped through me as the needle pierced my skin again and again. Blood trickled down my neck. My screams came out muffled. My body jerked and trembled beneath him. But he didn't stop. Tears soaked my face. Still, he stitched, whispering, "You'll thank me one day." And when my lips were completely sealed, he moved lower, to my breast. I tried to fight, but I was weak. I was bleeding. My heart was breaking. When he was done, he stood up, wiped his hands, and walked out of the room like nothing had happened. "I'm a lawyer. He's a pilot. We met during NYSC. Back then, he was sweet, funny, generous, the kind of man who brought flowers for no reason and prayed with me before dinner. He proposed at the waterfall where we first kissed. I said yes in one heartbeat. But the man I married was not the man I met. After our wedding, he changed. He slept with other women openly. When I confronted him, he would say, "Don't pretend like you're not cheating too. You're projecting your guilt." Then came the night he sewed me again. And again. And again. Every night, before sleeping with me, he would untie the stitches on my mouth and breast. When he finished, he'd sew them back, tighter each time. Bloodier each time. I bled in silence. I screamed with my eyes. I became a prisoner in my own body. He banned me from using social media, from stepping out of the house, from having friends. I couldn't speak to anyone. I wasn't allowed to go to church or even the market. To communicate, I had to write things in a notebook. But he always responded with words, his voice filling the room like thunder. I cried myself to sleep each night. My once beautiful face became a horror to look at. My mouth, once praised for its smile, now stretched unnaturally long from the years of cruel stitching. I am an only child. My parents died on the same day in a mysterious fire when I was 17. I fought through school alone. Got a scholarship. Graduated with honors. But now, I was voiceless. Powerless. Empty. Until one night, something strange happened. He had finished his usual routine, loosened my stitches, taken what he wanted, and was sewing them back. But suddenly, the needle snapped. He looked confused. The thread twisted around his fingers like it had a life of its own. He screamed. Blood began gushing from his mouth, as though an invisible force had turned the needle on him. He staggered back, clutching his throat. Then, I saw it. My mother's face. In the mirror behind him. She was weeping, but smiling at me. The thread floated in the air like a snake, coiling around his neck. His screams grew weaker. Then, silence. He collapsed. Dead. I still can't explain what happened that night. Maybe it was justice. Maybe it was the spirit of my parents. Or maybe God finally heard my cry. That night, I picked up my pen and began to write again. This time, not just for him to read, but for the world to know. The silence of a woman should never be mistaken for weakness. Check out the next episode.